This is a continuation of Lesson 3. We're going to be importing a single layer image file and an Adobe Photoshop file. So one of the first things you want to do, remember there's multiple ways to import files. You go to File and come down to Import, and we want to navigate to our folder with lessons. So I'm already in the lessons folder, and then we're going to choose Assets. And then from there we choose graphics, and the book is asking us for theft unexpected PNG file. So this here one is the one we want to choose, and notice it has a white background currently. A PNG sometimes has a transparent background, and this white may be representing transparent. So when we bring it in and put it into our timeline, it should make the background black. So we'll say open, and it brought the file in, and then you can see here in the thumbnail that it is just a text. So that PNG did contain a transparent background, allowing it to be black, which is the default of your timeline. The way to make that a different color is you would have to come here, do a new item, and do a color matte, and then if you laid a color matte in and then stacked it on top, you could give it a different color background. I know that's moving a little bit further forward, but it's kind of a cute little trick. Okay, so we've got our PNG in, and we brought it in through our file import option. Another way that you can bring in a file is in this area of your project panel. Double click, and that also brings up the import. So that's kind of a shortcut, but you need to make sure you have an empty space where you're clicking to pull that file up. The next one it wants us to look for is theft unexpected layered PSD. So it would be this here one. Say open, and then when we get this open file, it's going to come up with a layer options, and we need to know what all these different layer options do. So merge all layers, that basically is flattening the PSD that would have had multiple layers in it into one clip. Next up, merge layers, merges only the specific layers you select in the dialog box into a single flattened clip. So you can kind of see in the background there that only specific ones are checked. Those would be the ones with the merge layer options would merge together. And then individual layers imports only the specific layers you selected in the dialog box, but they're each on their own separate layer or clip in the bin in the project panel. And then sequence is an import of only layers you select in the dialog box. Each is a single clip. Premiere Pro then automatically creates a new sequence with its frame size based on the imported PSD dimensions, containing each clip in a separate track, matching the original stacking order. So I believe the book was wanting us to choose sequence. So I'm going to come down and choose this fourth one. And it wants us to choose document size. So down here, if document size was not chosen, choose that. Don't pick the layer size. After you've done that, you can come here and click OK. And now we have a bin that's created. If you double click the bin, it opens up a new tab here, or panel, and you can see all the different pieces that it brought in. So there are 4 different pieces, actually 3 different pieces and 1 sequence. So see the sequence icon versus your actual video clip icons. So if we double click this one, it opens in our timeline, and you can see that each one of these 3 layers has become its own layer. And just like stacking stuff up, whatever's on top is what we see on the very top. So if it was covering something up, we may not see all of it. These here in our timeline are basically a toggle switch for on off. They look like an eyeball, so you can think about if it's off, your eye is closed, you can't see it. If the eye is on, you can see it. So if I go ahead and click one of those, notice the word theft goes away. If I choose this one, unexpected goes away, and we just see that background banner. or I could turn the banner off and turn the text back on. So by having multiple layers, it gives you more control over the graphics that have come in. It also allows for you to animate things separately because they're on different layers. So there's some perks to bringing in PSD files that are not flattened. So this is kind of a neat way to start some basic animations. And we will get to that in later chapters. But at least we now know how to bring the PSD in, and you also now have covered the 4 different options of how to put those into your timeline. Alright, and then step 9, it says that we should just close our bin. So you can come here and you should be able to close the panel. And now we're back to our media browser, or we can click over to our project panel. You can see the bin is located right here. All we did was close it out of this top tab area. The next video, we will be taking a look at importing Illustrator files.